Hey, I hope you're all doing well. We're going to take a look at the astrology for this week of August 15th through August 22nd, or thereabouts. Thanks for joining me. I hope we can get through this on the first take. That'd be cool. But I hope you're doing well. Definitely not been an easy week, but I think things are more synthetic. They're more integrated now that Mercury has gone through that opposition to Jupiter. He's now in his home sign where he can function theoretically more properly or um, to the point of what we want, right? That exactness with Mercury. Um, what else? Yeah, so, Jupiter is back in Aquarius now. So he's sort of mollifying the otherwise abrasive sort of influence that Saturn can bring. And, with this moon Scorpio transit finished, even though it's a square to Jupiter, we had this sense of, upliftment or hope or otherwise, awareness that progress will be made, right? As far as Jupiter can pertain to like business or expanding things or where you are ultimately going to be manifesting things in your life. Um, so, the whole sign, what I mean to say by that is the whole sign of Aquarius is, a little bit of a nicer place than it was when it was more of like the sort of the gritty industrial side of things with Saturn. And it still is that way, but, you know, there's a sense of hope or structure or things being held up to deal with the problem, even though, there is this abrasiveness that we have to deal with this week, namely when Mercury and Mars can join, which will be, you know, uh, spelling it out in detail, um, all the abrasive things that we want to say about other people or otherwise. Venus is in Libra now, which is a good thing. Very, very good. Venus entered Libra on, oh, what day is that? I don't see it. Sunday. So, yeah, today, I guess if we're going to begin the report now, here from kind of sort of recapping on this confusing, weird week, we'll start on Sunday here, but, you know, Neptune is a thing. Neptune's a real thing, and um, Mercury and Mars will definitely be afflicted by Neptune as they go through that, and I think they already are. We saw that with Venus. The way we wanted to like find a sense of satisfaction in detail was sort of like twisted up in this weird sort of way, kind of hard to pin down. We wanted to, but maybe you were successful with that, maybe not. But yeah, kind of I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to at least kind of mention before we go on. You know, the Sun will oppose Jupiter this week. Um, and there's this trine with Mercury and Uranus, which, certainly has something to do with business and technology and, the way that those things can really be easily, the you know business and technology, Mercury and Uranus sort of the analogy is on the tip of my tongue. That's why I can't say it. It's like it looks like a well-oiled machine. It's not just like a train, but not just a biplane, but a modern plane, kind of with Mars and Mercury there conjunct, trying to Uranus. But in this context, it's probably not about like planes. It's probably more about digital technology relative to value, right? With Uranus and Taurus. But some important business activity happens during this week. It looks like Mercury Mars is like merchandising as like a business activity specifically. So how that translates, maybe people are like, there's a lot of selling of all that sort of stuff that happens in the middle of the week. But okay, we just got to do the thing. So starting on Sunday, the moon will go through the square to Mercury and Mars and move through the south node while it makes the sextile to Saturn. So could be some potential opportunity that happens probably before this and like right after it that you could find a little more than a day on either side here of this sextile. As far as like the timing is concerned. But as we go through the day on Sunday, it kind of looks like an abrasive, not fun sort of time. Sort of drained out. With the strong contact, like with the close contact of the moon to both of the malefic planets and Mercury, makes me think that it's altogether not a totally good situation for business or to interface with other people. I think it falls in line with the plan that you've set, but overall, we might find ourselves being frustrated, it looks like, or somehow overextended throughout the day on Monday, trying to make it happen. And then, making it happen and talking about it are all really tied up at this moment, and that's kind of why it's, you know, more challenging on Monday. But, when we go into Tuesday, the moon squares Neptune and makes the trine to the Sun and the sextile to Jupiter. While the moon is in Sag, so the moon in Sag, we want to, I think find a higher sense of what we're doing, or like we're organizing, speaking, doing in detail, kind of Mercury or Mars and Virgo. Um, so that's kind of the tune of what Monday is about. Tuesday has this more of a washed, like it's more of this sort of washed out, sort of energetic. The Neptune and the South Node aren't totally lined up anymore, but we still have this like South Node transit and then the Uranus or the Neptune transit. But overall, it looks like a nice day because the Moon and Jupiter and the Sun are all in a nice configuration. But it looks like the beginning of Tuesday could be like a little, kind of like kind of recovering maybe from Monday night. I don't know what we'd be doing on Monday night exactly, but um, the first part of the day just kind of looks a little lost in the void, in the other dimensions of places that you can go with Neptune. But overall, you know, the moon is building up a very good light on Tuesday. The moon has this really good light when it makes this square to Venus in her own sign, which is very good. I like that. You know, building, making that square to Venus, who is now, in this nice configuration with the north and the south node here. It's the moon in Capricorn, but, connecting to a planet in its own sign looks like a great time on Wednesday, if we can still kind of pick up on that in the morning in North America. But, let's see, let's take a look at the. Yeah, so on Wednesday, that Mercury Mars conjunction will perfect in the evening, and then the moon will immediately trine that conjunction, which is must be very significant, right? This is a very beautiful sort of configuration here. Look at that. It looks very beautiful. I like how the sun the whole time this whole week is opposing Jupiter. The sun and Jupiter are doing a good thing, sort of helping out with Saturn. And they're not like in a hard angle anymore. All that stuff from July is wrapped up. And we've got this. So when Mercury is moving very fast, he's on his own sign. He's ruling this conjunction to Mars. Yeah, he's moved past the sun, and he won't retrograde until he gets into the later degrees of Libra, right? So, and we've been through this opposition to Jupiter with Mercury. So, our thinking, our way of doing things is very integrated, I think, or we've taken on that quality. Probably, Mercury. He's not really in an angle with Jupiter anymore, but um, it was a good thing for that to happen with Mercury. I think is the main point, and it will be. Let's just take a look. So Mercury moves ahead with all these good angles for the most part until we get into the end of September. Mercury is square to Pluto and then is retrograde. So pretty much until then, Mercury energy is darn good, because even when Mercury leaves Virgo, he's in Libra, where he has no particular dignity, but Venus is ruling that sign in co-presence, so very, very much benefic, mollifying the business, getting things done, getting what you want, getting what you need, really with Mercury, and with this trine to Saturn. I think that theme will be really playing out by the time we get to the end of September. But point being, other than this Mercury Mars conjunction, which kind of makes me sort of pensive to kind of say one way or another about what it would mean, is it's, maybe things probably get pretty overheated and angry and just probably spitting at some points during this week, kind of just spitting the words at people a little bit more than we should. Hopefully not. Maybe we can be kind to each other throughout it, but I think it has that kind of angry, cutting, implication there on Wednesday, especially with a very easy, transformative way to go about that. So, I mean, I think that's a lot of pivotal conversation. Maybe not necessarily bad, just, we really feel that. Um, I don't, for some reason, I can't understand what Mars is right now, but, you know, we feel that sense of difficulty at that time, that hot, painful, sort of irritating feeling is in our relationships, even though it's kind of flowing really nicely with the moon in Capricorn. I don't think we're really, because it's not really I think we want to interface and be social at this time, but we have that moon in Capricorn um, agenda to go about things with on Wednesday. Anyway, for Wednesday, let's go forward now. So the moon also makes the trine to Uranus on Thursday morning, makes the sextile to Neptune, makes the conjunction to Pluto. And then the moon is void of course, and the sun opposition to Jupiter perfects. So there's like these obscure influences the moon is going through in on Thursday. It is that fear, that sense of anxiety, that critical sense, or moon Pluto contacts can be like a critical moment or event that kind of just like scary, or it's the crisis element is what's emphasized. So that's sort of the mood that we're applying to with this outer planet vibe that happens on Thursday morning. Fill that out because that'll be interesting. It's like both the outer planets in a nice configuration on Thursday morning. But overall, I think it'll be kind of subdued and, just doing the agenda on Thursday probably. Okay. And then the moon goes into Aquarius on Friday. What's that about? Okay, so the moon immediately makes the trine to Venus, which is I think a very nice change of mood from that. Whatever Thursday was about. If Thursday was not fun, I don't really expect Thursday to be very fun with that. It could be, but so the moon is trine Venus for all 4 degrees, 5 degrees. So it's a nice morning, I think. What is that? It has a fateful quality to it, and the moon is really picking up on that with Venus there. The Mercury has moved past Mars. We haven't talked about it, but I mean, Uranus is stationing retrograde. Whatever that might mean. It looks nice. It looks social. It looks sober. It looks contemplative. You know, it doesn't look afflicted in really any way. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I think Venus is doing a lot. With that overcoming trine to Saturn and the Moon there. I think we really are getting a lot of that from Jupiter and Venus, kind of applying to Saturn there. So I think a sense of hope is definitely possible. I think a sense of uh, joy is possible. Um, you know, maybe like it's the joy that you find like in these kind of times. But um, whatever that might be for you. But I think it is nice, but it is dealing with that difficulty with that issue, or the way that you have to deconstruct things to build a new structure if you have limited resources, right? Um, Yep. So um, probably there's some great opportunities in here somewhere. August 21st. But, another thing I've been realizing with Saturn is it's like you have to make a plan and you have to go according to your knowledge. And to the degree that you plan according to your knowledge and you succeed according to your plan, you you know I misphrased that. You're the way that you understand. Hmm, I don't know. Something about planning. Maybe if you want to go back and just kind of think about what I said there, it's gone. But um, so we get into Saturday, and the moon is square to Uranus, and Venus is trine to the North Node. So Venus perfects that trine to the North Node. The moon isn't doing anything, it's just applying to Jupiter. I think, is that the next. The conjunction Jupiter is the next aspect, and then the full moon on Sunday. And the Mars will trine Uranus. So it's an easy type of flowing energy that happens between this cutting planet and this planet that's doing something with our modern technology. So, I mean, look at that blue trine aspect. Just looks so good. But we'll see how good that is, or what that means. But we're definitely picking up on it. We can see it if you're looking for it on, I guess that's Saturday morning. Sorry, I'm kind of stuck on. I wanted to say something about planning and Saturn. There, like, you do things according to your plan and by your knowledge, and it's like Saturn is like recognizing that, okay, you didn't know what you were doing, and so you failed. And that continual process of failing and failing again, you know, with knowledge and according to a plan, gives you the best structure because you've pressure tested everything and you've come to the bedrock of understanding and knowledge of what you're doing, whatever you're planning out, right? Um, with this Venus trine to Saturn, I wonder if maybe things in, the collective will sort of get better, for a bit. You know, um, maybe we can relax about I don't know about all the social stuff. I think there will be some sense of equity and right, um, social mores, I guess, or like systems, or a sense of the proper way of things being in society or with our systems will come in. But before we just totally belabored it. I think we've gone a little too long. But we have the full moon at the end of the week, and the sun will move into Virgo. The moon is in Pisces. What is this about? I mean, this is another interesting one, isn't it? Because the sun is right at the end degrees. Jupiter is right there. The moon is full. So, we've had this contemplative time, really, with all this Saturn ruled Jupiter and Saturn sign stuff, right? And that, is kind of like building towards what we're doing in the future, and so on. Um, and then we have this unexpected event that happens, you know, surely there's some processes that go on at that time, and then we have this full moon. We're really highlighting the way that, a benefic influence is coming into the structures of, what we're doing in society, and what the difficulty of Saturn in Aquarius is at this time. And, that's probably talking about, the vaccine distribution and all those good things that we need to have happen. So it looks like it gets very much highlighted, and we have a sense of where things are going with this beleaguered situation. But on the other hand, I think it could be, I don't know, I want to say that the full moon on Jupiter is a good thing. The moon is expanding with maximum light, or Jupiter is expanding the moon's maximum light here with its configuration. And then immediately it's very fateful too, because we have this configuration with the North Node there with the square. But what else is there? There's so much more, it looks like, because the moon, or Mercury, is now going into the orb of Neptune. So by the time on Monday that the moon comes around to the conjunction to Neptune, we have this opposition to Mars that builds up, opposition to Mercury, and likewise with Mercury, Mars to Neptune. So it comes to a very spiritualized head there. Mars, Neptune, Mars, Neptune, Moon was an important configuration that happened last July, which was, Mars is hasty, it's violent, it takes action, and it just moves through things. And I think, people will be, it's a very similar vibe, like protesting or otherwise, in a very out of this world headspace, and communicating about that and taking action about that in a totally unconventional way. So maybe we could be in quite a different world by the time we get to next Sunday. So I hope that was good for you. Have a good rest of your day. We're talking about Monday, so it's kind of a continuation. I think last week was less interesting, at least than this week. What it will be. I think this will be an interesting week. I hope you have a good week. Definitely some fateful things happen this week, so have a great time. God bless you, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.